Hello students, now I am going to discuss some more questions from the alkanes chapter. So here in this case, first question is, which of the following compound will not be obtained as product in the above reaction? Okay, this reaction depend based on the halogenation of alkanes. Okay, so actually here, which products are formed in a monobromination of this alkyl halide actually? For suppose here, let us write the all possible products. Okay, here Br, this hydrogen, this one CH2 and CH2 CH3. This chiral carbon configuration is fixed. Okay, that means here enantiomerically pure compound is given. So here in this case, first here this hydrogen can be replaced by the bromine. This hydrogen can be replaced by the bromine. Here hydrogen can be replaced by the bromine. Here hydrogen can be replaced by the bromine. Here also hydrogen can be replaced by the bromine. So here in this case, CH2 Br, here hydrogen Br, this one CH2 CH2 CH3. That is the one product. Okay, and next here this hydrogen can be replaced. So here Br, and here already one bromine atom is there. Next here CH2 CH2 CH3. That's it. Okay, it is a one possible product. So now next here hydrogen can be replaced. So by the replacement of that hydrogen, the carbon becomes a chiral carbon. So the bromine may be on the right side or maybe on the left side. Okay, that's it, because the reaction terminate is a radical. So here in this case, the radical carbon, okay, for suppose here alkyl group, here one alkyl group, here hydrogen, this radical carbon attacked by the halogen radical either front side or back side. As a result, we'll get the mixture of isomers. Okay, that's it. So here also the bromine, here the hydrogen replacement by the bromine, that may produce, okay, two different isomers. Okay, remaining one CH2 CH3, here CH2 CH3. But here in this case, this chiral carbon configuration is fixed, is not changed, because enantiomerically one pure compound is given. But here in this case, after replacement of hydrogen by the bromine, this carbon becomes a chiral carbon. Okay, so here a chiral carbon converted to chiral carbon. So in this case, the bromine may be on the right side or maybe on the left side. That means here either configuration R or S configuration. So these two are possible. Next here, one more possibility. In this case, this hydrogen also can be replaced by the bromine. As a result, this carbon also converted to chiral carbon. So its configuration may be S or configuration. So here I am writing this one CH3, hydrogen, bromine, CH2. Now CH2 at this carbon, bromine on the right side, here or here hydrogen, this one. Okay, so H here bromine and remaining one CH3. So here in this case, here hydrogen replaced by the bromine, the bromine may be right side or left side. So CH3 again, hydrogen, bromine and CH2, this one bromine, hydrogen and CH3. These two are the formed as a result of replacement of this hydrogen by the bromine. And finally this carbon is there for the replacement reaction. So CH3, hydrogen, bromine and CH2, next one also CH2, and finally CH2Br. So here first product, here second product, third product, fourth product, fifth product, sixth product, seventh product. Totally 7 products are possible in this reaction. Now here which product is not formed? Here in this case bromine on the right side, a bromine on the right side, a bromine on the right side. Here, for this carbon, actually here, for this carbon, here bromine is not on the left side, okay, because it is a second carbon actually. It is a second carbon from the top. Here in the reactant, at the second carbon from the top, bromine must be on the left side because enantiomerically pure single isomer is given. So this product is not formed in this reaction. Now here in this case, additionally, I want to give some more information. Now here is the one possible product, it is another possible product. This is a chiral molecule. Because of the chiral carbon, it is a chiral optically active. This is a achiral molecule. No chiral carbon optically inactive. Okay. And next here, this molecule is a chiral molecule. Okay. This molecule also chiral molecule. Next here, this molecule is a achiral molecule because of the plane of symmetry. Achiral molecule, this is called as a meso compound. This compound is optically active, no symmetry. This is the chiral molecule. Now this is again chiral molecule. So how many optical active isomers? Optical active, here optical active, here optical active, here optical active, here optically active. 5 are the optically active products are possible in this reaction. One compound is a meso compound, other one is the achiral compound, optically inactive compound because no chiral carbon in this compound. Okay. Now here, out of the 7 isomers, how many enantiomeric pairs are possible? Okay. So see this one. Here in this reaction, no enantiomeric pair is formed because of the not mirror images. Okay. These are not the mirror images. These are not the mirror images. Okay, that's it. And next here, how many fractions are obtained? For suppose the 7 products of the mixture is on the distillation. Okay, that means here that is done by for the separation of all these 7 compounds. How many fractions are obtained? Okay, here in this case it is a 1 fraction, it is a second fraction. Now here these two diastereomers comes under different fraction actually. These two are also diastereomers comes under different fraction. This compound comes under different fractions. So totally 7 fractions are getting. Okay, because in this case enantiomers comes under 1 fraction, same physical properties, same boiling point, same melting point, same solubility. So here enantiomers comes under 1 fraction, but diastereomers have the different physical properties comes under different fractions. Okay, all these are the diastereomers each other of course, and some are the structural isomers each other. Okay, these two are the diastereomers, these two are the diastereomers. Okay, that's it. So totally 7 fractions, 7 isomers, and 5 are the optically active, 1 is a meso compound. That's it. Okay, and next one more question, just relevant to the first question. Here, this compound on monobromination, how many isomers are possible? M number of isomers are possible. On the fractional distillation, it is done for the separation of these isomers. Then here we will get the N number of fractions actually. Okay. Then here M plus N, sorry, M minus N is what? So in this case, on monobromination, how many products are possible? Here, first monobromo product and next monobromo product. These are the structural isomers. Next here, CH3 and this one Br. Now here, for this compound, how many products are possible? How many isomers are possible? This compound exists in 4 isomers actually. Here, methyl above the plane, here bromine above the plane. This one has no plane of symmetry. Then we will get the mirror image of this one. So here methyl below the plane, here bromine below the plane. That's it. And next CH3 and this one Br. Okay. Here, sorry. So here in this case, methyl above the plane, here bromine below the plane, trans isomer. Next here, its mirror image is methyl below the plane, bromine above the plane. Okay, it is a 1 enantiomeric pair. This is a 1 enantiomeric pair. Totally for this compound, here 2 enantiomeric pairs are obtained. Now here I am taking another isomer CH3 and Br 1,3 position. So this one also exists in a 2 enantiomeric pairs as usually in the 1 comma 2 disubstituted product. Okay, so here in this case, cis isomer optically active, we have a mirror image. Next here, trans isomer optically active, we have a mirror image. Again here two enantiomeric pairs. Now here in this case that bromine also can be placed on the fourth position. Now here this compound exists in only two isomers because this compound has no chiral carbon. This compound do not exhibit the optical isomerism. Okay, cis and trans actually, cis and trans. Okay, these are the products of this reaction. Okay, now here the number of isomers are the here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That means here M is equals to 12. Okay, 12 isomers are obtained in this reaction. Now here the fractional distillation, that means here on the separation. So here these two are the enantiomeric pairs comes under one fraction. These two are the enantiomers comes under one fraction. These two are the enantiomers comes under one fraction. These two are the enantiomers comes under one fraction. Now here these two are the diastereomers comes under different fractions. Okay, so here in this case total number of fractions here first fraction, second fraction, third fraction, fourth fraction, now fifth fraction, here sixth fraction, and next here coming to these structural isomers here seventh fraction, here eighth fraction. So here in this case 8 to 12 minus 8, that equals to 4 for this question. Okay, because the enantiomers have the same properties, so comes under same fraction, that means one fraction. It is a one fraction. Okay, so here in this case fraction means for suppose A and B are the two compounds. Okay, A and B are the two compounds. These two compounds are taken in a beaker. So here A boiling point is 50 degree centigrade, B boiling point is 90 degree centigrade. So this one on distillation, okay, this one on distillation actually we will get the two different fractions. For suppose this mixture heating up to 60 degree centigrade. So here the compound A boils and then passing cool water, you know the distillation technique. So we'll get the compound A in this beaker. Here in this case B remains in this beaker. Okay, so you will get the here two fractions like this. If there are the different boiling points and different solubilities, different melting points, we will get the different fractions. Okay, but here enantiomers have the same boiling point, so comes under same fractions. Diastereomers have the different properties, so comes under different fractions, and structural isomers also have different properties, comes under the different fractions. Okay, that's it. And next one more question. Around the following alkanes in decreasing order of their heats of combustion. So generally here neopentane, isopentane, n-pentane. So actually here with increasing branching stability increases. Okay, with increasing branching stability increases for the alkanes. So here which is more stable, that neopentane is more stable and n-pentane is a less stable actually. Okay, so here n-pentane has a higher heat of combustion, so 3 2 1, n-pentane, isopentane, neopentane, this one more branching, more stable alkane, so least heat of combustion for this one. Okay, that's it. So heat of combustion for isomeric compounds inversely proportional to stability. Generally with increasing molecular weight, heat of combustion generally directly proportional to molecular weight. Heat of combustion inversely proportional to stability. Okay, so branching increases, stability increases, so heat of combustion decreases. So finally here third compound n-pentane has a higher heat of combustion. Okay, thank you for watching.